The history of the United States goes way beyond the year 1776, when it became independent, and 1783, when it was officially recognized. The land has a story that goes back thousands of years before that. Long ago, the first people came to live in the Americas. These early people, called Paleo-Americans, are thought to have traveled from Eurasia across a land bridge called Beringia. This bridge connected Siberia to North America during the Ice Age. They moved there between 30,000 and 10,000 years ago. The land bridge disappeared as the glaciers melted and the sea levels rose. As they moved deeper into the Americas, these early people formed different groups and nations. They created unique cultures and societies. Some of these early cultures include the Adena, Iroquois, Coles Creek, Puebloan, and Mississippian cultures. Hawaii has a special history. The first people there were Polynesians who arrived between the 1st and 10th centuries AD. European colonization started in the 5th-10th century. In 1492, an Italian explorer named Christopher Columbus, who was working for Spain, landed in the Americas. He thought he had reached Asia. This event led to more European ships sailing west to settle and trade. Spain built a large empire in the Americas, starting from places like Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Hispaniola. France also created colonies in parts of eastern North America, the Caribbean, and some areas of South America. The eastern coast of North America was mostly settled by English people in the 17th century. Some Dutch and Swedish settlers also came. The first successful English colony was called Jamestown, and it was started in 1607 on the James River in Virginia. More people came later, especially in the late 1600s, and they started growing tobacco as a major crop. Even though there were conflicts with the Native American people, the colonies grew quickly because of good food, plenty of land, and low death rates. More people came to live there. Each of the 13 colonies had its own government. A governor from England ruled each colony, but they also had a local group of elected people who helped make laws and collect taxes. By the 18th century, the colonies were growing rapidly. Many immigrants came because of the opportunity and the good living conditions. Tobacco and rice plantations in the colonies depended on African slaves who were brought from British colonies in the Caribbean. By the 1770s, African slaves made up 1/5 of the American population. Road to revolution and independence. The idea of independence from Britain did not appear until the colonies needed British military help against France and Spain. The French and Indian War, which was part of the bigger 7 Years' War, was a big event. Britain won against the French, which caused France to lose its colonies and land in Canada and Louisiana. The British Parliament passed the Stamp Act in 1765, which taxed the colonies without letting them decide. In 1773, the Boston Tea Party happened, where people protested a new tea tax, and this started the revolution. The next year, Parliament passed the Coercive Acts, which took away Massachusetts' government and put it under army control, which made all the colonies very angry. Leaders from all 13 colonies came together in the First Continental Congress to work together against Britain. They stopped buying British goods, listed their rights and complaints, and asked the king for help. When this didn't work, the Second Continental Congress was formed in 1775 to prepare for fighting against the British Army. The 13 colonies started rebelling against Britain in 1775 and declared themselves the United States of America in 1776. The American Revolutionary War and westward expansion. During the American Revolutionary War from 1775 to 1783, American forces defeated the British at Saratoga in 1777, which helped take control of the Northeast and made France support the United States with military help. France was joined by Spain and the Netherlands, which helped balance the military and naval strength. General George Washington was a main leader who organized the army, worked with Congress and state leaders, and trained soldiers. The American Revolution was successful, and in 1783, The Peace of Paris recognized American independence. The new country started moving west, taking over Native American lands beyond the Appalachian Mountains. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson bought the Louisiana Territory from France. Diplomats were allowed to spend up to $10 million for New Orleans and the west side of the Mississippi River. But the French offered the whole Louisiana Territory for an extra $5 million. Continued to expand, with Texas joining the Union in 1845 and significant land acquisitions after the war with Mexico. Civil War and post-war development in 1861. After Abraham Lincoln's election, some southern states seceded, leading to the American Civil War. The war began in April 1861 when secessionist forces attacked Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The 19th century was a period of economic expansion, with growth in industries and infrastructure. In 1898, the Spanish-American War occurred. Was initially neutral. German attacks on American ships and their attempts to enlist Mexico against the U.S. led the Americans to join the Allies. The United States joined the Allies after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The 19th century was a period of economic expansion, with growth in industries and infrastructure. In 1898, the Spanish-American War occurred. Was initially neutral. German attacks on American ships and their attempts to enlist Mexico against the U.S. led the Americans to join the Allies. The United States joined the Allies after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941.